I'm sorry I won't say sorry about my poem. I'm so sorry because poetry knows no borders and boundaries. My apology, I won't apologize for my poetry. I'm not apologetic, neither will I apologize. Truth must be said as it is without fear, bias or favor. Africans are enjoying fake independence. Africans are doing their level best to impress their colonizers. Our colonizers are still in control and their puppets are called leaders. I'm not protecting criminals, but I want transparency and fairness to everyone. I'm not too clever, but I'm against the victimization of freedom fighters when murderers are walking free. I'm not a political activist, but I'm a poet. I'm not a politician, but I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm not inciting public violence, but I want the public to know the truth about fake African independence. I'm not an expert in law, but I'm a loyal African. I'm not a Zulu, but I'm a Zimbabwean. I'm not a South African, but I'm a bona fide African. I'm not a South African, but I'm a Southern African. Basically, South Africa's problems are my problems. Honestly, poets are the voice of the voiceless. Is South African judiciary independent or it's captured? What's the position of ANC about Zuma's imprisonment? How many people died in detention in South Africa and how many arrests were made? What's the problem between Zondo and Zuma? How many billions did the Zondo Commission spend to conduct its work? What's the clash between Ramaphosa and Msholozi? Why is Ramaphosa on mute about his former boss's imprisonment? Is the imprisonment of Zuma political or criminal? How many innocent South Africans died in detention? Who was the responsible and how many arrests were made? How many times did Botha refuse to appear before the Truth and Reconciliation Commission? How many white heads of state were imprisoned for enslaving and slaughtering blacks in South Africa? Was de Klerk arrested for murdering black people? Instead, he was honored with a Nobel Peace Prize award. Gahlenbo, mthetho wemZansi Africa, likhaba. Why is Zuma's case treated differently to other South African citizens? Why is his case not treated procedurally? Why didn't his case start from Magistrate Court, High Court, Regional Court and Supreme Court of Appeal? Why was his case taken straight to Constitutional Court where he won't be given any breathing chance to appeal? Black South Africans are being manipulated. They are going for each other's throats to impress oppressors. If you really mean justice in South Africa, let Molefe, the former ESCOM CEO, come finish his testimony. If you really mean justice in South Africa, let the Sharpeville massacre perpetrators brought to book. If you really mean justice in South Africa, let the Marikana mine owners be arrested. If you really mean justice in South Africa, let all criminals be arrested. If you really mean justice in South Africa, let the killers of Steve Van Biko be arrested. If you really mean justice in South Africa, let the killers of Steve Van Biko be revealed. If you really mean justice in South Africa, Chris and his murderers should have been asked to reveal who assigned them to kill him as a strict condition of their release. If you really mean justice in South Africa, hostels should be demolished long back ago and those people built their own houses. If you really mean justice in South Africa, let the holy South Africans apprehend, arrest and imprison Msholozi. If you really mean justice in South Africa, let the land be repossessed and given to its rightful owners. Aluba izwe leMzansi labuya ngempela, abakho mntu omnyama ohlala emkhukhwini ematshotshombeni nasemahostela. Kahleni bo, akungadlalwa ngathi, yekani uMsholozi. Baningi abantu abanamacala amakhulu okubulala eMzansi Afrika. Botha took the law into his own hands. He was rude because of his age and health. He refused 3 times and ignoring summons to appear before the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. He only paid a fine not even worth to buy a sick calf. Only a crime that cannot be justified or nullified by paying a fine. Now the criminals who killed Jews are still arrested even today. If apartheid was generally declared a crime against humanity, how come criminals involved in that criminal system were not arrested? If the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report given to Mandela was authentic, if it wasn't a toothless bulldog or a sellout settlement, how come after so many years no one has been prosecuted? Zuma's saga is a stern test for black South Africans. After so many painful and unanswered years, de Klerk said apartheid wasn't a crime against humanity. He was supported by AfriForum and de Klerk Foundation. Mandela was imprisoned for 7 years in Robben Island. Those imprisoned him were never guilty and are walking free. The family of Ahmed Timol was killed in detention. The truth hasn't been revealed. Their killers were not brought to book. Steve Bantu Biko was brutally and cold-bloodedly assassinated. But Zondo Commission's agenda is on Zuma only. Amacala kaZuma achithwa enkantolo ngokusemthethweni aqala phansi achithwa ngabantu abaneziqu abazumthetho amacala akhe bewu700 manje awu83 ashona phi lamanye ama allegations wakhe beza namacala bawahoxise beza namanye bawahoxise waze waphathwa libusizwe laseMzansi Africa kahleni bo akungadlalwa ngathi Mzokhembuli was denied bail 3 times at the regional court. One in Dongobubendi inyama engayidlanga. His home was petrol bombed and he wasn't compensated up to date. Steve Bantu because Wito is still suffering. Nothing is being done to her and all apartheid victims. Hayibo, akungadlalwa ngathi la. The Freedom Charter is on mute. It hasn't been executed and implemented. Education is not for free and compulsory up to date in South Africa. Health is not for free even up to date in South Africa. Black South Africans are still unemployed and homeless after independence. All eyes are sold on Jacob Zuma wasenkandla only. Wenzeni udleni kabani ugedle ihlekisa umfo kaMsholozi. Amacala aseMzansi Africa antathethwa kanjani na? Kubi kushubile isimo simanzenze eMzansi Africa. Izwe leMzansi alikakabuyi. Kulindweni kanti kukhona isandla semfene la. Kukhona okudla amantshontshe emsamu. Ungavumi Msholozi. Inkomo ingazali inja kwaZulu. Vuka Shaka. Vuka noDingani. Kanye nosenza ngakhona nilolu ncamalala. Vuka Zulu omnyama. Akuvele kunyiwe uma kunyiwa. Alutha continue. Walala wasala. Vuka Taki. Vuka Taki. Vuka Taki. Vuka Taki. I am Obed Dube, the African poet.